What's going on, ladies and gents? It's Jake, a.k.a. Countdown Ended, the Chiari Kid coming at you. Hopefully you're doing well. I know I'm excited. We're here to preview one of my favorites of the year. That's right. It's the Royal Rumble early predictions. And of course, I'm not alone. As always, I bring you the man, the myth, the legend himself, Cody Onidi 316.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I can't wait to get into this because I want to see how we do when we actually review this video in a later video to see what we did right, what we did wrong, or if we got it right on the dot.
Yeah, I got to see how close we are and, how far we came. Pause. That's right, though. You and I are going to be predicting the card for the Royal Rumble 2026 in that place overseas that can't be mentioned. That's right. It's in Saudi Arabia. Hey, and it's Riyadh season, so it's a huge celebration. And apparently those rumors were just that, rumors. There is no delay. Like the stadium is either going to be used differently or already on course to be ready. But regardless, they're not going to flub and not have the Rumble. So clearly they've got themselves prepared and worked out, no doubt about it. But this is usually my favorite pay-per-view, premium live event. There's something always about the Rumble that's magical to me because it can make a new star. It can reinvigorate a career, the excitement of the returns and the unknown, all the possibilities. I hate when we go into the Rumble and it's such a foregone conclusion. When we had, Lesnar and Charlotte win and people like, it just is very disheartening. I hate when they're wasted, essentially. I feel like Rumbles should elevate or be the catalyst to someone achieving the next level. They tried it with Jay and many others, like that was the point of Drew winning the Rumble so that he could be the ultimate face, and then the world shut down. Unfortunately for him. But there's a lot of favorites, there's a lot of options, and there's no clear winner this year for the men's and the women's Rumble now. Yeah. So you and I have a lot to discuss. But before we get into those cards, I want to pick your brain because we are going to speculate about what the other match will be. But as of right now, we know for a fact that there's a number one contendership series going on SmackDown. So we have Randy Orton, The Miz, Matt Cardona, Trick Williams. I'm excited that he's being utilized in such a healthy main event way.
I like it. Oh, yeah, man.
Then we got Solo taking on Damian Priest. And last but certainly not least, Sami Zayn taking on Ilya Dragunov. So who do we think is going to be the winner here? Because each man that wins then goes into a fatal four-way at Saturday night's main event. That's the same Saturday night's main event that will not only earn them a shot at Drew's undisputed WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble, but that's also the night that Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez go ahead and take on Rio for the women's tag team titles. So it's stacking up to be a really good Saturday night's main event. But early predictions of who we think is going to win. Orton and Drew, we've been there, done that. I don't see The Miz. Cardona would be kind of cool because he's a good face to go against The Miz Drew for a short-term moment. Trick, I feel like you don't want to just give him this spot and then have him fail. So I'd rather see him make it to the four-way but not win. Someone with elite experience and their in-ring prowess is what gets him. I'm a veteran. I knew to hold the rope kind of an idea. But overall, it feels like
this is for Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, this tournament. And it seems like to me it'll be Randy, Trick, Priest, and probably Ilya over Sami Zayn, which might be crazy for some people, but Sammy might have a big part in the Rumble. And then out of those four, who do we get in my book? Randy, Trick, Priest and Ilya. I would go with.
I'd go Randy.
I would go Randy probably because it's good for a short feud. There's already heat there and
It actually
history.
makes sense because they had a little thing going on lately.
Yeah, they've been waiting
Randy
to
Orton
include that.
was supposed to get involved in their story anyway. Now Drew has the title, and maybe Randy Orton's about to beat Drew, but then Cody Rhodes tries to get revenge on Drew while Randy's about to win, and it fucks over Randy
Jacob Fatu
from winning the WWE Championship.
That's a great idea.
I think that will happen eventually as well, but I think
because you notice Jacob Fatu is noticeably absent. I think we might see Fatu and Cody face off to see who gets another shot at the title. Maybe they end up making it a three-way eventually, but
I think that Randy Orton and Drew is going to be the play here, and then Cody Rhodes tries to get some revenge on Drew, which cost Randy and which will lead to the Randy and Cody Rhodes feud.
Makes sense to me. I think that's a good bet. And of course, Drew retains. But what's the other match we get? I mean, it doesn't have to be a women's match, but it makes sense for, you said, Stephanie and Raquel. So I'm going to piggyback off of the wise Cody Rhodes Oniti.
Yeah, Stephanie and Raquel. I think they like to try to split it even for the most part. So you'll have Royal Rumble will have maybe 4
usually
matches altogether, right?
Especially with the
two Rumble matches will take over an hour each, and then
they're about 90 minutes a piece usually. So then if you add in 80 minutes somewhere around there, and you add in the other matches, it's a little over 3 hours. That's a good form for them for what they want usually. It might even be a little bit less.
Yeah.
But I feel like, as you set up wisely before, it kind of maybe spoils some things, but not for me necessarily. But if Liv were to win the Rumble, Raquel winning here is setting everything up as planned. Like, it sets up her being excited for her, and then the turn, and if they face each other, her win. So there's a lot of options.
What would need to happen first? What would make it more interesting? Because Raquel winning the title first, and then Liv winning the Rumble later in the night, and it's oh shit.
Yes, I would do it exactly that way. I would have it be, oh my God, now what? And then Raquel thinking that, I'm going to cash in on the other side. I'm going to go after Jade.
You have Liv appear on SmackDown for a few weeks. They act like, this is the title I'm going after. But then Raquel ends up getting more bossy, and Liv's like, you know what, fuck you, and I'm going after that.
I think her plan will always be to go after Raquel, and she'll just kind of trail everybody along to get the ultimate revenge.
Like we said before, I think Liv is doing what Randy Orton did to the Authority.
Yeah, we've seen, people, a wolf in sheep's clothing kind of idea, lying in wait before. So this is not unforeseen.
But where does that
territory
leave Liv and Roxanne? Because people think that's a permanent stay now.
No, I think that's gonna be part of the dissolving.
Liv is acting way too nice.
Yeah, all of it seems like a setup, and Finn, I doubt, is gonna beat CM Punk. So it looks like Judgment Day might be coming to an end. I would honestly have Finn.
I think the group
Punk.
would be disbanded.
I would have Finn Balor beat CM Punk, because Finn Balor has not won a singles match since 2024 against Dragon Lee, I think was the last one. And then we have people like, so the same episode, they say they're building new stars. They have Finn challenge, who hasn't competed in the singles match, like I said, in years, and hasn't had a victory in just as long. And then they also have Otis and Asian Tucker go ahead and become tag title #1 contenders, and they have only won one match. That was 2 years ago when they faced New Day in the angle of look how far New Day has fallen thing. So Wrestle Talk pointed this out expertly enough, and it's like, damn,
Wait, I have a question with this. So, then where does the split come in? Because who could be mad at who? If Liv is winning the Rumble, Raquel's world champion, Finn's world champion.
I really don't see them. I don't see Finn winning. I don't see I don't see that happening, but I do see. I
And
could see
Liv could
Raquel
end up
winning.
I could put fire under Liv winning the Rumble because Liv was the one all talk. Then Liv and Roxanne are the ones that failed to win the women's tag team titles, and that causes Liv to get pissed, more even pissed with Roxanne. And then Finn's good to say to Liv, you're the one all talk, but everyone has gold now besides you.
Yeah, and it seems like, hey, why didn't they have the tag title match on the Rumble? But it seems like they want all 4 of those females involved in the Rumble, of course.
Liv's a top star, and they probably don't want her wrestling twice.
I mean, just in the sense of like spoiling the crowd too, they usually try to avoid that. Granted, I think that's probably the way to go, is the Raquel and Stephanie Vakukuku match. Depending on
Raquel beats Stephanie.
Yeah, if she's
Liv wins the
healthy.
Rumble.
Even if Liv doesn't win the Rumble, I would still have Raquel win, because here's the thing. Stephanie's injured. So you're not hurting her aura by having Raquel go in there and be the big, Kevin Nash female monster and being vicious. Hey, she beat her, and then Stephanie gets to come back eventually, get revenge. Like, there's a lot to this. I could imagine, how
you
they have
seem
it.
like
you can have
you have
Stephanie
someone else
win
winning.
the chamber, and that could be it. You never know.
Who do you have then? So then who? Then Liv versus Roxanne then at Mania, or
No, what if Liv doesn't win the Rumble? We'll
that's
get
what I'm
into
saying.
it. So it's kind of a up in the air thing.
Or-
do they have Liv? Is Liv and Roxanne enough of a match, or do they do the, as we
or does
suggested
Liv
before,
have a match at Mania?
do they do the whole
Maybe not.
Finn and Roxanne versus Dom and Liv? Is Dom healthy enough by then? It was supposed to be a minor injury, but still he's not around. So
If Liv's not winning the Rumble, then I wouldn't have Raquel win the title at all.
see, I still would. I think there's a few issues here, and we'll get right. Let's get into the Women's Rumble, because this is the best way to talk about this one, my good man. There's a few prospects and options. They could have waited to bring up Blake Monroe to have her be a surprise in the Rumble, because we kind of don't know what she's doing in NXT. She's facing Jada Parker. She's got some minor feuds, but they didn't. They're hot, they're cold. They want her, they don't. She's coming up. Wait, she's not. I'm curious if she'll be in there. I wonder who they're going to have be surprises. Do they include any of the TNA knockouts? Is that a possibility as well? I could see like Li Ying Li being there if she's still champ. Whoever the knockouts champ is, being in the Rumble has kind of been a staple for the last few years. Started by Mickie James, of course, paying respect. And Hardcore Country. I'm genuinely excited for this Rumble, because my heart of hearts tells me Liv should win, obviously. But there's a few other ways to go here. And if you look at who's champ and what they've done, hear me out. Maybe Liv wins the chamber, and that can set up her and Raquel, because Bianca returns to win the Rumble. I'm not a gigantic Bianca
win the
fan.
chamber.
Maybe she could too. I'm not saying
Because I have a I guess it. In the long term aspect, I guess it won't technically matter, because you'll get to where you need to get to, regardless which one wins the chamber, which one wins the Rumble. But Bianca's
still,
already
about
had
the
that
stat.
accolade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
she
saying.
had.
That's the only key difference.
I agree with you, but I'm going by
in the long run.
Internet guessing. People are really behind the Bianca return now, because
I've seen that.
it's such a simple injury. You're like, what? But it really is so detrimental. She has this broken finger, and the way it's broken, it's completely like non-bendable and movable. It's a useless appendage. But because of that, like, she could poke somebody's eyes out trying to make a fist and punch, or she can't close her fist all the way, can't close her hand. So she goes to make a dive. She can break that.
You seem like you were more
there's
high
risks.
on Liv winning the Rumble, like when you thought she was going to be returning at the Rumble.
Yes,
more
because they've cooled down on her a lot right now. And part of that is because Dom also got injured. So I wonder if there was more to it. But only thing
to be fair,
Liv's
before Dom
done.
got injured, they weren't doing much.
No, they weren't. And that's the thing. So I don't know if there was like more of a story to tell, but if you look at what she's done, it's been no service of her own. She's come back to a gigantic fanfare during the Cena Dom match, but what did she do? She helped Dom win, and then she helps the ladies, and then she hasn't done anything for her.
I kind of still think you're a little like that. There would have been more momentum, like better, more beneficial for her if she were to return at Rumble, because, like you said, you were afraid if she returned at Survivor Series, like things would cool down. And remember, respectfully to the fan base, they told us we're wrong, and if she returns at Survivor Series, it's gonna light the world on fire, and everything's gonna be 100 times better.
And that's not Liv's fault. I mean, I'm listening to Chelsea Green speak, and Chelsea literally found out she won the U.S. title again the day she was winning it. Like, same thing with being paired with Ethan Page. She's like, who? She had to Google him on the way there, and she's like, oh, this guy. Okay, cool. And she's like, whoever was a genius that did that. But they don't know things beforehand. They're not told, here's the booking, here's the, like,
even though they should be, probably.
They should be included. They should be looped in more. And I think that's part of the problem a lot of times, is that disconnect where people are telling instead of asking. And that really shows here, because, like, okay, you wanted an exciting moment in the Cena farewell tour. So that's why Liv returned, because there's been no reason to have her return since she came back.
I think Cena wanted it, right? Because Cena's like high on Liv.
Yeah, but there was nothing pivotal pushing her to be there since she returned. She's not going after, she's just, now she's got the tag title shot, but they got the win, but it kind of fell into that, like it feels like maybe it is part of a larger thing.
They actually went backwards, since not to any fault of her own, people twist that, but like
the creative,
like when before she was back, like there was tensions, everyone's now all of a sudden nothing.
Yeah, nothing, just nothing. Like you said, just nothing. Like, and what kills me is, like I said, Bianca has the connection with Jade. That is there. That is established. So that could be not a worry, but a pin in Liv not winning. That might be something that people could see.
Like,
I agree with the accolade.
I'm not going to get
mad
if Bianca.
No, certainly not.
But flip out. Like, me, I like Bianca, so I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, like, it's not gonna fucking piss me off. But like,
but I would be upset because I feel like you said, been there, done that. She doesn't need it, and that's what I get upset about with the Rumble. Like, I would love to see a call up get this win. I would love to see somebody that hasn't won the Rumble. If Bianca was in this severe dire fire story that called for it, I'd be like, fuck yeah, win again, like a Cody
Whose story
Rhodes.
Calls for it more, the Liv Raquel story or Bianca Jade?
I think Liv and Raquel, because that sets up them facing each other without turning on each other initially.
I like the unpredictability, though.
Yeah,
it's not a guarantee Liv's winning.
No, and that's what's fun about the Rumble. I mean, here's the thing: what's Rhea been doing?
I want it, not just
She's
because
a
I'm a
tag
big
champ.
fan, but like I think Liv deserves it the most, probably. And
how long do you see Rhea being tag champ though with Io? I don't imagine this goes on long.
If this breaks up, do you turn Rhea heel or what happens?
I don't think so, but there's certainly
ego thing. They both have like egos.
That's the thing.
Maybe they tear apart the whole women's tag team division, Rhea and Io, and they're like, and they're still tag team champions heading into Mania. They're like, you know what? We beat everyone we could. Now let's see who's really the best out of me and you one more time. Because Rhea,
I wouldn't hate that because of the match.
Rhea's not just okay with not being able to beat Io.
No, there's something there driving her to, and I love that they kept that story. I've seen a few people. Chris Van Veve said it, many times, and I enjoy his interviews and whatnot. His shorts are always great. But Chris Van Veve went ahead and said, like NXT Black and Gold, that run that they had might be the best book wrestling television, period. And if you look back if you just look at those years of NXT, he's absolutely right. The characters, everything mattered. The mid card, the opening, the main event, like there was nothing that was not important. The women outshine the men more often than not, and not in a way of like, look what we can do. It was like, oh, they
In
just
gimmick
happened
matches,
to.
that actually, I think recently in like the last 4 years, I think that's like been the case. Royal Rumbles, Elimination Chambers, Money in the Banks,
War games,
even War Games. Yeah, I think a woman in gimmick matches usually outshine the men big
yeah,
time.
usually. And you look at how things happen and the way plans change. You know, Shayna Baszler was supposed
Triple
to
H said the
win.
reason is like the women don't have as much ego. They're more like, all right, let's go tear the house down.
Yeah, Chelsea's like,
Whoever
I want to
wins,
do what the
fuck.
guys are doing. I want to make memories. That's why she's willing to get power bombed in a dumpster or thrown through
And
tables.
Triple H, the difference is with the men is like there's a bunch of egos always involved. I want to win. Well, I want to win. I think I should win. This then it kind of like kills
Yeah.
the momentum of the match. While the woman just say, "Who gives a shit? Let's tear the house down."
What about Alexa Bliss? What if she won the Rumble?
I wouldn't
I
be
wouldn't hate that.
opposed, but I don't know what story you can buy me into. Alexa,
I
Raquel,
mean,
Alexis.
if Stephanie's still champ, that's not a bad story at all. And especially with after her losing to Julia, like she did on SmackDown, a lot of self doubt. She's Charlotte's out. She's on her own again. It's a bit of a redemption arc. She's got to prove it to herself. I'm trying to think like what other females stand out as an actual legitimate possibility to win. I say
My top five.
yes.
Are,
Hit me with
like
it.
not in any order. Not in it. It could be any. Yeah, I could see Liv, Bianca. Alexa's actually not that bad on one that you mention it. Alexa Bliss.
Coming down to my side, huh?
Yeah.
Rhea, I could see again.
Yeah.
And Becky.
Becky, if she wasn't the IC champ, that muddies the water for
Who
me.
else do you see?
I know, and that's kind of the thing here.
Who's your top five woman?
So there's a few things that I wish that they could have done beforehand. I wish they utilized Natalya in this gimmick because what they did was they had Maxine Dupree win the title and show that she's enough, but then she goes and trains with Natalya. And what does she do after she trains for weeks in the dungeon? She loses to Becky. So it's really ass backwards. I wish Natalya was able to be Natty Neidhart.
I think we get Natty. I think we get Natty in the Rumble.
I don't know that we're going to see her, but I would like to have her there. But here's the thing. Had she been for the last month or two fucking people up, and I mean legitimately getting in the ring, being explosive, and just tearing through everybody like she's been doing on the independent circuits, I think that would have changed the opinion of her in fans' mind. It's not, Natalya who's full of gas. It's not, Natalya that's never really being the champion and always the prom queen runner up, that kind of idea. Forever the bridesmaid, never the bride. Now they could have shown her as this legitimate shooting, fighting, MMA style badass, essentially destroying a la like a Ronda Rousey, but better through all the opponents. Now she comes in and she clears house. Imagine if Natalya as Natty came into the Rumble and just pulled like a Shayna Baszler or a Nia, where she got the most eliminations, wrecked everybody, and now she's going to take on Jade, because who would be a good legitimate challenge to massive muscle bound that bitch Jade Cargill? Who's going to take her on? Fucking Natty. Natty's going to do it. She's going to break her down and destroy. That would be good. That's a fight. Like, I want to see, like, that's what we're lacking for some of it. And I'm trying to think, because I go through the entire roster, like a Sol Ruka, I'm guaranteeing you is going to be in there, and a few others from NXT, but I don't see anybody getting that much of the shine compared to winning the Rumble. I mean, really, going back through all of it, a lot of people are heavy on one other name returning. And
who's that?
I got to see her return to wrestling in person. It was at Grand Slam, and we lost our fucking minds. Saraya Paige, one of my old favorites, the anti-diva herself. She didn't light the world on fire in AEW. It never really worked well, but that introduction, when I tell you the place was so deafeningly loud, and they had just gone nuts for the Acclaimed winning the tag titles. They were like 3 times the volume of that, because it said, you heard, Zombified, and because she's dating Ronnie at the time, and Falling Reverse is playing, and I'm like, that's Radke, and I'm like, all right, and then all of a sudden I see her walk, and I'm like, it's Paige, it's Paige, and just, I would love to see her make her return. Would she win the Rumble? I doubt it. I mean, people are saying that Nikki Bell is going to bring her sister into the Rumble.
Oh God.
I
Breathe
yeah.
out. So who's your top 5 again? You said
I've got basically like a top 4 at this point. It would be Liv. I really like being in that spot. Rhea's never a bad choice. Alexa, I don't believe Charlotte would do another back-to-back and win again.
No.
Now she's got the proper momentum and fanfare. This should have been the year she won it,
argument,
really.
right, I think the war back and forth right now, realistically, from what I've seen, is Bianca and Liv, right? That's the
I mean, everybody online, Lyra Valkyria, Julia, Roxanne Perez. I mean, we've got big names involved.
Would you say the main split is for the IWC is Bianca and Liv as people's who they want to win?
Yeah, those are literally, like, if you go to the sports betting website, Liv Morgan and Belair are currently the favorites as the final 2, and one of them is likely to get the big win this year. I hope it is Liv. Honestly.
Imagine if it's Bianca and Liv and they pull a Batista and John Cena.
Double elimination.
And then Triple H comes out.
They've not done that in the women's, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. That could be something.
No.
If they pulled that off well, it could be fun.
Have Triple H come out yelling and he tears both his quads.
Yes, and falls to the ground, then has a pacemaker attack and maybe a TIA tiny stroke too. So yeah, I think it comes down to those two. I mean, with them doing the whole, we're from Stanford, let's do it thing.
Both are. Yeah, I'm not like this fan where like I'm blinded to other ones. You know me.
I know that. I've joked with you, but yeah,
I'm not mad when Liv loses because like I know it's a show. It's not gonna.
We all have our favorites. I get destroyed as an LA Knight fan. Constantly, my heart is broken with that man. Oh God, I mean,
I think Liv gets treated a little better than LA Knight.
Yes, but by a fucking
I do get
great
Liv
margin.
fan. Yeah, Liv gets treated better than LA Knight ever would. But I do get the frustration from like the big fan accounts, like she was the runner-up multiple times. Why can't she just fucking win it now?
But I think that's like, go back to the Chamber when she was bawling her eyes out, being like, I'm going to Mania. And then Baszler just went through everybody. Remember? Go back to when she was runner-up in the Rumble. And,
that was
and
a
when
good
she
Chamber.
was
I actually like that Baszler just fucking...
I admit I was wrong. I didn't care for it then. In hindsight, going back and watching it not that long ago, I enjoyed it much more.
Made her look like a badass.
I always felt like it made her look like a badass. I just felt like it was really at the expense of everyone else.
I get it.
I get what they were going for, but it was like a little too extreme.
Because that was a Vince decision.
Yeah, and a lot of what happened
at first.
Yeah, he was going to give her, he didn't want her to beat Becky yet because of them having the no fan mania. And then she was going to win Money in the Bank. And
yeah.
Then the day she gets there, they're like, oh, Asuka's winning. And she thought she did something wrong. But Vince told her the night before, you're winning, and then you're going to go face Becky and take the title.
Right.
Asuka wins and climbs up. The next night on Raw, Becky announces she's pregnant. And now Shayna's like, oh, they don't hate me. They didn't lose faith in me. It's just, stories change. And, no one clued her in either. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, Triple H took over in 2022. Like Triple H more fumbled Shayna than Vince.
At that
To be
point,
honest,
though, I feel like there was so much damage done.
yeah, no, I do get that. I know,
No one
like
could play
at
the
that
game.
time, it was like Rhea and Shayna that were like called up. I think Vince liked both of them, right? Was high on
Yeah,
both.
because you look at how, finally Rhea beat Shayna on that magical Spaz's favorite NXT night and the way everything went down. And lo and behold, here we go. It was the rah-rah black and gold. Love it.
Let me talk to you.
Some of the best ever. And when she came up with all this momentum, it took fans a while to get used to her, but Shayna had a lot to offer. And if only her and Rousey came up together, I think maybe, that would have helped. Or there was a few things like they could have done more with and didn't. So, but I feel like you and I are at a fair spot now for the Rumble. I think Liv being our overall pick is fair. We see why. I don't see like anybody else that jumps her in line that feels like they have to be the winner. So
Yeah,
to me at this point in time, I feel like my final say so.
people are gonna say I'm biased, but I think like actually storyline wise too, Liv does actually make the most sense.
Yeah, even if you don't have Judgment Day women holding the title, you could still do a lot with Liv, and that's the thing.
Because
So
Liv was one of the first like people like that kind of said something when Stephanie Becker officially got called up.
yeah, we
said
thought they were
some-
going to have a feud together. It seemed like, and then Kyrie ended that possibility.
Liv was kind of like her introduction when she first got called up, so you can call back on that.
Exactly. And like I said, as much as I'd love to see,
I'm not talking about the partial call up after Mania. I'm talking about
the full go of
in
it.
the
And
summer.
when she had the title and she's in the back, and exactly. So that
when
could have been something.
Then when the night Liv returned was kind of like, just to let you know, I'm back. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, glad to see you're a champion, but I'm still here. Obviously there's a lot at stake on the men's side of things. We've got
the men's one
on our card.
Is unpredictable too. Which one's more unpredictable, men's or women's? I think women's you can either argue Bianca Liv. I think that's just like
that kind of
one
when it comes. Yeah, the men's though, I don't know.
I think that one I don't.
Some people said Gunther might win to take on CM Punk at Mania because he would want revenge. I'm not.
I would maybe run back
that.
Gunther and AJ Styles because I would do Obafemi and Brock Lesnar at Mania.
Sign me up for that.
Because instead of Gunther and Lesnar, I would save Gunther and Lesnar for SummerSlam in Minneapolis, right?
Yeah. I mean, do we see Cody Rhodes in the Rumble now? He lost his belt.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in there.
Does he get?
He's not winning the Rumble.
He's not going to win, but does he get a chance in there? Does he get a rematch for the title? Like, what about Jacob Fatu? Does he go after him for costing him the belt? Like, what happens? We got to look forward to SmackDown.
I would have Drew eliminate Cody. Drew's not a participant, but we've seen it happen before. I would have Drew get involved in the Rumble and throw Cody out.
Like distract him and pull him over or something. That could be a good way to get even more heat. But this men's Rumble, the biggest...
I could see Braun Breaker.
The biggest surprise, I think, is Chris Jericho. He's making his long-awaited return to WWE.
Yeah, he should have been returning during the European tour.
Yeah, I feel like people would have been upset, though, that didn't happen in the States. There's no great way to make it work. And
they could have had him return January 5th, right?
I feel like that should have happened. They should have opened or closed the show with God.
Spoil it. Yeah, I think that's because that's their argument with Liv Morgan, right? We can't have her return here. That's our big woman surprise.
Yeah.
We can't have her return here because it would just be spoiled because she would be spotted immediately. So Jericho, what about him? That's the same thing, right?
Yeah, no? Jericho is not an odds, all odds favorite to overcome.
It's gonna get spoiled. Is there a way they can hide it?
I don't know because we've heard conflicting things. A lot of it is like itineraries and flight logs and I guess reporting for things. So
that's what I'm saying, right? Like with their issue with Liv and Bianca, right? They're two big women that they said they would get spoiled
Yeah, they
there.
basically had to let things happen beforehand.
So that's the contradictory with Jericho. Like then
I mean, we
now
still
it's
have
like,
time.
oh, we can try to
Jericho could
hide it.
debut up until the Rumble.
But
We don't
how
know.
do you hide it?
Well, if he does it in the European tour that we have still. I mean, the thing
Okay,
is,
but
and
I'm
we
just
can't
saying,
say
if he
they wouldn't do
doesn't-
something big because they had Drew win the title.
If
and
he
it wasn't
returns that
live.
Rumble officially, it would be spoiled beforehand, right? Because
More than likely, yes. I mean, it's not 100%, but I would say more than likely it would be spoiled. But that could be their plan anyways, because they've got Lesnar coming back. They've got Roman coming back. They've got, Braun Breaker is another one expected to enter and possibly win. Some people are saying that with this suspension, even though they're going to have Adam Pearce say like, oh, you put his hands on him first, so he's not going to be suspended type thing or whatever. Some people are saying that the suspension is to keep him out of the Royal Rumble since they don't have him winning it right now. And to think, we were hearing that Roman was winning the Rumble to face Cody, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, now Cody's not champ, but Roman and Drew, maybe Cody gets the belt back. Anything is possible. You never know for sure. And I don't see Roman winning now. I don't see Lesnar winning. I would like to say still that they're smart enough to know Braun Breaker deserves this. I mean, they've done everything with the vision.
So.
He's opened and closed just about 3/4 of the Raws last year. He's been on, almost every show. We've seen him spear everybody under the sun. They put momentum behind him for a long time, and then he lost the title match. And that hurt him. It did. It didn't bury him. It didn't take him down indefinitely. No, but he needs this, I feel like. You got everything behind him. So if he's not in the Rumble, then we know for sure, he's been cooled off. But all the plans with Seth and everything, people are saying that they think Seth is returning in this Rumble. I'm not sure. You figure, it was October, right, when he got injured. And then from there, November, December, January, that's not a ton of time. I don't know that he would be. He said he still has several months to go when he was at the, Chicago game for NFL. There's a lot of different possibilities for the men's, though. One of the people I bring up consistently, LA Knight. LA Knight.
Hey, LA Knight, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the Rumble.
Imagine him. He's been going all this time now. They took him out with all the tsunamis on the car and all that stuff. They broke him into pieces. They blew his ribs apart. That's hardcore. And what do we get? His massive return in Riyadh. He comes out, huge ovation, everybody cheering.
Yeah.
Everybody saying LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes out and wins. The crowd would go nuts. Who does he face? God, he can go against Drew, or he can go ahead and face Punk, and it wouldn't matter. It would work.
There's a history with Punk, and then you can get Braun Breaker involved anyway, because all three of them have kind of been fused. So that actually makes sense for a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Braun Breaker, get Braun Breaker involved in there.
But Braun Breaker can win the Elimination Chamber, because I think there's going to be enough blood feud between Jacob Fatu, Randy Orton, Drew, and Cody where none of them need to win that. Like, they're just killing each other. Then Nick Aldis will have no choice what to say. All right, you guys are the match. And then Braun Breaker's like, well,
the only problem is that whoever the Rumble winner picks is usually they do the opposite for the chamber.
They can tweak it.
I mean, they could. There's no set
we've
fast and,
tweaks
they're fast and loose with rules most times anyways, irregardless. You're not wrong.
Whatever fits there, and people don't complain then. So it's just going to be the same thing. Like, they tweak Fatal 4-Way tag matches just to fit an agenda. So same thing.
And we've got TNA people, the Dolph Zigglers, Nick Namath and whatnot that could be returning again. We've got Matt Cardona here now. We've got Trick Williams, Obafemi. Obafemi would be a great surprise to win this. He comes out, that's his debut, and he just comes out and dominates and wins.
I would kind of pull like a 2020 Brock Lesnar, where he's tossing people out left and right.
Left and right, yeah. Obafemi, dun, dun, the ruler.
That's one of my favorite Rumbles in recent Like maybe
Oh,
all
I
time.
love that.
2020
I
Rumble.
love that Rumble. And I'm not a big Lesnar fan either, but Lesnar will be here. And that makes you think, if Braun
But
Breaker is in
realistically,
there, who does Paul
Lesnar
Heyman side
is-
with? Right? Does Paul Heyman help Lesnar, or does he side with Braun Breaker? Makes you wonder. That's a whole thing in itself, right? Imagine Mania is Braun Breaker versus Lesnar, and that's to put over
be.
Breaker. That would be huge. A battle
I
of the
see
behemoths.
them doing Lesnar and Obafemi at Mania, though. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that.
I think that would be great. No doubt about it. I mean, that's about as a Big E of a match as you could get. That's big, sweaty men slapping meat. And
oh, yeah.
you figure with everyone, even Cena said it, that Lesnar is making it to Minnesota for SummerSlam, the 2-night, and then he's supposedly out of here. Gunther will retire him too. Just you wait. But until we get to that point, I mean, do we see Carmelo Hayes in the Rumble? What about Dominic coming back? What if he comes back? Do we have the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, the tag champs in there? What about the Wyatt Six? I mean, one person we didn't mention for the women that could be a sleeper hit. I'm sorry, I'm going back a little bit. Is Jordan Grace? I keep forgetting that she's called up now, but she's another one that could be a real powerhouse, dominant. Like that 2019 or 2020 rule. That whole thing. Either way, if they don't win the Rumble, I'd expect them, like you said, to do something with the Chamber. But Breaker, he fits so well to win this Rumble. But then he goes and gets the revenge, faces Punk, and goes on to win against Punk at Mania. Like, that's massive.
My two for each one. So I'm not going to pick an exact winner because I think I'm going to give you my final two options for each because it's a 30-person match. So women's, I think Bianca and Liv are one of them's winning that. The women's one, and LA Knight and Braun Breaker for the men's.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's mine exactly, because LA Knight, he's 43. You know who else was 43? DDP when he won his title. Like it happens. It's not impossible. But the clock is absolutely ticking. He's only going to get older. It's only going to... These other people have had momentous careers, and he needs this. Every time he's come up to bat with a major opportunity, they have made him fail. And then he comes out talking about being the best, and everybody talking about LA Knight. Yeah, and we're still talking about it. Like, he's still... But remember how over he was.
What's going to happen with the Royal... We're going to get this... you can cut it if we need to, but you don't have to. If so, this will just cut. But do you think the Royal Rumble will happen? Because from what I'm seeing, there might be some conflict, east, but in the middle.
We've got a lot of wonder there too, and that was one of the things I was going to mention. So yeah, I mean,
okay, so
LA Knight, I think he's got to win. I think that has to happen. We're running out of time. If that
conflict does happen, though.
Yeah, right now,
moved somewhere else.
I don't know, but I don't think so. Honestly, I think they'll stay because
they're warning people to get out of the Middle East.
All over, yeah, because right now they've just banned immigration and travel from 70-something countries.
Now Germany is warning people. I think
75 countries. Yeah, so
you saw the same
Iran sent a threat against top official and
then our president.
Yes, and avoiding some of the terms, but regardless, the whole point is I don't know.
Terms can we use in that?
Exactly, I don't know anymore.
His name.
Regardless, so ridiculous.
Off the rails. Oh shit.
Yeah, 75 countries who take welfare from the American people. They said they're pausing immigrant visa processing and goes into effect January 21st. So. Okay. It will not apply to temporary tourist or business visas, only immigration. So it's you're still able to travel at this point, but it says there's 38 countries that you'll have to get a bond to enter.
To travel to the middle.
Yeah, there's a potential to have a travel ban set. So with the threats
crazy?
And
Last
all these
time
things, it's possible.
They were over there. The same shit happened.
Yeah, there was, the brewing conflict there, and now everything with Iran, and it's
So
it's
I
it's a
have a question.
mess.
I'm gonna sound dumb here. So why does I know Saudi Arabia shit always gets affected
Yeah.
when there's conflict with Iran. Is there a reason why?
I know it's proximity and location, obviously, but I think
Just because how close it is?
one, and I know they have a relations. It's always been like very very strained and tricky, but they've managed to make it work to some degree. Like
Yeah.
it's not a great relationship, but there's something there. And now, they emptied a bunch of the military bases as troops have been put on high alert because Iran warned Saudi, the United Arab Emirates, and Turkey of attack on American military bases. Like, this is what we're dealing with. So
In the
it's,
big 2026, we still deal with these kind of
yeah. And
things.
all the unrest in Iran is escalating into this massive crisis in that entire region. And all these neighboring countries hosting troops have been targeted, basically. And it's
Right.
a very strong action for every equal and opposite reaction, and so we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's kind of the issue with it being there. The travel. That's why I'm worried about Mania, the year that follows. I worried about it from the get go, and that's why I said tourism there for these shows are usually WrestleMania's number one and Rumble's usually number two as far as international travelers coming over to the United States or nearby for these shows. These bring in the most international viewers to the States, and you're not getting that now. A lot of people are refusing to go. Media, coverage is a lot slimmer because people are afraid. They're unwilling, or just,
Yeah.
their morals won't allow them to. There's a
So
lot. So it makes
hopefully
you
all
wonder,
that
but
stays safe.
I like how you and I, we broke it all down. Neither one of us picked Roman Reigns, and he is the favorite. He won the 2015 Rumble. People feel like that was a disaster. Now he's over as a face. This would be a make good. He'll be cheered. He's already got plans to headline one night of WrestleMania. I don't want it either. And I feel like, again, he would do such little work, and he gets handed so much.
If they're doing Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, I don't think it should be for the title. It shouldn't be for the title this time because this is your grudge match. So it's more about bragging rights, who's better overall, not.
You want my controversial hot take? I still don't find Roman Reigns to be the GOAT or that great. All of his matches as heel Roman, yes, they were as a heel should be, but it was very slow paced, methodical. And the only reason he retained for that long was because of the bloodline, all the interference and all the, hubbub. And then God even helped him retain. Remember at the Rumble, go figure, against Balor. He broke the turnbuckle, and that was after the demon was resuscitated. He just needed Demonito. Who would have thought?
Oh yeah, that was the same match.
It was, right?
Oh, okay.
Fucking disaster. That was
a lot of things happened in that match.
But here's the thing.
Maybe I don't go back to that match for a reason.
Yeah, Braun Breaker feels right. People are also talking about, and I have to mention this one, Sami Zayn. He's number 4 overall. They have Roman Reigns, they have Braun Breaker, and then on the list, obviously, they have Sami Zayn on there.
Sami Zayn. Okay,
and then LA Knight is not in their top, so they have Gunther.
Here's what I would do with Sami Zayn. So I think because WrestleMania is getting the that place next year.
Yes.
So I think it would be better if Sami won the Rumble next year and won a world title in.
I don't argue with that idea, especially location, but I just wonder if people are going to care by then. That's kind of the problem now. I feel like the love for Sami has greatly diminished. It's cooled. The underdog personality
there's more
of him
to it winning a world title there than winning a Rumble there.
Yeah. But him winning the Rumble in general right now doesn't feel like he deserves to go against anybody at the Showcase of the Immortals. Yeah, he
I
had the
wouldn't be,
great IC
and that's
title
not to say
win,
about
but
Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn's a great in-ring performer.
he is. But I'm tired of the ultimate underdog.
He's not an
Like,
underdog anymore. Like, that's
no,
what they
it's
kind of did with Bryan. Still, like that's.
they
But
made him look like
no,
a
he's proven
fucking
to be a
fool.
top.
Cody, I don't mean to cut you off here, but do you remember what happened just a few months back? Seth Rollins had the title. Sami Zayn was going to fight him, and
Yeah.
Seth was like, if you go to Monday, away from Monday Night Raw, go to SmackDown, we'll get you a title match against John Cena, guaranteed.
That
And he
was
said,
said.
no, I'm not going to leave. And then Sammy never got his title match and ended up going to SmackDown anyways, eventually. And what happened? He faded to the wayside and did nothing there. Eventually, he had a feud with Solo that was really bad. Something with the U.S. title and the Open Challenge. Yay, he defended the title. Like, it was good. He had good matches with the Open title, but that's all it was. There was no substance. There was never like a real feud or anything. It was just like more random matches. And that's not always the worst thing, but it'd be nice to have a little bit of a feud. That's why, like, Ilya never defending against Tommaso Ciampa and all that. Like, it was funny, and we saw little things, and Carmelo always wanting it and him being afraid to face him again, and all. They built up to it. Sammy was just, all right, this week, who's coming out? And how could I win this? I'm the underdog, even though he's the champion. Like, it lost me. And I feel like a lot of people view him as mid-Carter Sami Zayn, not main event El Generico. And that's the problem. Like, him and Kevin Owens will put on a classic friend versus foe match, but I don't see him being enough of a draw for the main event, sadly. Not now. They could have capitalized years ago. Like him and Roman, if he won the title that night in Montreal, that should have happened. I feel like they could have corrected it before Mania if they wanted to and had him lose. He should have won the fucking title. They were too worried about keeping that record going for the 1,000+ days and all that. He should have won.
I agree.
I still stand by that. Regardless, they've killed momentum multiple times, and I feel like he never really gets back off the ground. You wanted the ultimate underdog, him versus Roman was it, and they shit canned it. So I don't see Sami Zayn being one to win it. Gunther is going to retire other legends. I'd love LA Knight to win, but Braun Breaker to me makes the most sense. I don't want Roman. I don't want the status quo. We're going to talk about NXT shortly, obviously, breaking the fourth wall here. And their big thing is, hey, they called up everybody, but we're building new stars. But I actually felt like they were this week. Things were moving up and established. They had different things going on. As where Raw, SmackDown has been just more of the same. And with SmackDown back to 3 hours, I was hoping that it would broaden the horizons and give us a chance to have more stories for other people. But instead, we've just lengthened the bullshit. It's a weird build to the Rumble right now because it's non-existent. No one is talking about the Rumble. No one's talking about going to WrestleMania. It feels like it's not happening for months out, and we're 2 weeks away. I fail to understand why they're booking it in such a way, Cody. It really baffles me because, yes, I know you want to put over Saturday night's main event and other thing. But the Rumble should always be the main focus until Mania, because that's getting you there. That's stamping your ticket and sending you to the main event, damn it. Why do you not want it? Kills me.
Fair enough.
Yes, indeed. But any final guesses, predictions? At least we got Linkin Park, Heavy as the Crown, great song. Love it. Glad to have them being the themes and hosts there. But all in all, I am very excited about the Rumble. I think we could get some good surprises for the men's. Like we said, Obafemi is one, Chris Jericho. We'll see who else pops up along the way. But you and I agree, LA Knight, Braun Breaker. For the women's, it's Liv. You know, it feels like she's certainly got to take it. It could be Bianca, but we prefer Liv. I'd like to see Raquel do something with all the attacks she put in and win the title. If that's not the match, then maybe it's the tag team titles, the MFTs and the Wyatt Six. They finally do that. since the MFTs beat them, previously. But besides that, I'm not sure what else they would throw on the card. Hopefully Ethan Page is on his way up soon, as well as Blake Monroe and JC Jane, Fallon Henley, Tatum Paxley, and several others. They could really, really, do they have enough spots for everyone? I don't know, but competition's never been fiercer. Any other predictions from you, my good man?
No, I think we covered it
I
pretty much all.
think we have. So we'll touch back on this, right before the Rumble, and see what our opinions are, where we're at, and then we'll see afterwards how right or how wrong we were. Well, until then, my good man, please tell these great people where they could find you, my friend.
You can find me over on my Twitter or X, whatever you like to call it nowadays, at Judgment Day Era. You can find me over on my YouTube gaming content coming soon because we got the U-Haul like 2 days.
Yeah.
So then we can clear house here and then set up the area for the PC and then gaming content, I promise.
Boom.
And then you can find me over on my Instagram at Cody_Onidi_316.
316.
Give me a hell yeah.
You can go ahead and find me on the Twitter and on Instagram at Countdown Ended. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter because that's when you get updates for all of the shows, and you go ahead and find out, hey, Jake lost power and he's in a blackout and currently can't continue the stream. Things like that. It's great to be updated if I'm in the hospital dealing with health stuff, whatever. So check the Twitters and that'll give you the biggest update to when the shows will be. Besides that, follow me on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe there. You can become a member to help support the show if you'd like. It goes to making the show better. We appreciate it greatly. Hit the like button. And then we ask you, comment down below with your Rumble predictions. Let us know who's going to win the men's, the women's, what other matches. Go ahead and let us know all of your predictions. Until then, I hope you all stay sexy. And we'll see you next time on Into Somewhere.